Hey guys, it's your host of the Garchomp Daily again, Noah. Hope you guys are doing well. Right now, I'm making a video just about news again, just because there's some pretty big, crucial talking points I want to go over. I do apologize for being gone the past 2 days. I've been celebrating my birthday. Man, I feel old. But, with me being in my lower 20s, I guess I got far to go, I guess. But with that being beside the point, I want to come back with you guys here just to go over some very potential rumors and leaks, and also just some concerns involving Legends ZA for when it does eventually come out. More so concerns that I wish they may avoid, but we'll go over the likelihood of them all. But I wanted to first get over this post right here. It's by Hidden Power Podcast. Definitely recommend following them. They are a great podcast, and they just go over everything Pokemon. And speaking of following, I thought I was already following them, but again, I follow their hosts, so my bad. But no, do follow them like I did. It's as easy as that. But with that being said, it's more so going over, some new Porygon forms. Obviously Megas of the Gen, within the Kalos region, and then we go over Mega Yveltal, Xerneas, which we already went over, and then a possible Zygarde and Necrozma mix in. So we'll first start off just with the art here. Now again, there is a huge possibility that all of this is fake. Take everything with a grain of salt, because there's always that chance. The art looks legit, but again, we know some great artists. So even if this is real, I think it's really cool. I guess it goes by Aurabada, which is, I guess, the counterpart of Zygarde. And if we go over this next slide here, it just really goes over the entire what to expect within the Pokemon Day announcement, and just a whole bunch of other stuff coming with it. And then Pokemon Go Tour, obviously in this, is supposedly being announced with the focus on Unova, which there's been some hints there for the Pokemon Go, area. And then the Keldeo Dex completion with Pokemon Home, which obviously happened. You can get Shiny, Drowsy, and a Hypno in Pokemon Sleep. I'm not very big into Pokemon Sleep, so I don't know if this is true. I mean, it probably already is. But maybe I should get into it. Let me know in the comments if it's worth getting into. I know there's a lot of people that like Pokemon Sleep. Suicune and Pokemon Unite, which I think I heard about. Again, and then Sada's the Slitherwing Strike, and then Toro's Iron Moth and Tech within Masters. You have that being announced. Flapple and Appleton in the Cafe Remix. Then really we go down to the new trailer for Legends ZA, set in present-day Kalos. You work with Sycamore and Kaiser Initiative. Well, in the Kaiser Initiative, to turn Lumiose into a mecha for people and Pokemon alike. See, this is possible, and it's more safe that they do it this way, as it's more so focusing on rebuilding Kalos from what it was when we had it I believe it's been, a decade since X and Y, so, this is, for us to revisit it, it just makes a bit more sense to modernize it, or at least make it more futuristic. But I still believe we're going to take aspects from the future and past, considering that it's been hinted at and it's been shown physically within the teaser trailers of what we do got. So I assume, we're going to want to go find certain parts of the past and then parts of the future and use those together to make the ultimate Kalos region, or at least the ultimate Lumiose, which will make, Kalos as a whole region better. So with that being said, this seems like a very possible option, and it really allows them to go multiple directions, because you're going to be grounded within the present, but you're going to venture into the mysteries of the past and future, kind of like in Scarlet and Violet, but just not hunting down the Ooga Booga past Paradox Pokemon are like the Chrome, a future Paradox Pokemon, you know. But I'm all up for it. You know, they said that this is their biggest ambitious title yet, so I'm holding them to it. I'm really excited for it. And then they go on and say that the gameplay is essentially the same as Legends Arceus. Has 8 different parts of the city, 5 districts, outskirts, sewers, and central hub. Which, if it's sewers, that means we may possibly get some catacombs. Which I'm really hoping that they do go into the catacombs of it. I mean, really, if it's set, basically in Paris itself, then I want us to have some catacombs, because I think we can do some really cool. Because if they bring back raids, we can do some really cool raids with it. We can do a lot, and I really do look forward to possibly some catacombs. And then it says you use a device that is a new Porygon form, Porygon AI, which that would be cool because we've not seen much of Porygon. Your missions shape how Lumiose looks, and the missions adjust to that. That's cool. Now again, this doesn't mean that it's true. But imagine that we make the city how we want it to be by how we believe, like from our belief system, what we believe is ethical, our morals within certain missions, our choices make the city how it is, and that could make so many cool counterparts. And if that's the case, I really hope they add an online feature so we can visit these other cities and see how everyone else's cities differ from ours, and see who's are similar, or maybe who's someone who has the same by chance, And then it goes on to say that Porygon AI begins glitching out and causing space-time rifts, which that's cool. 2 other Sycamores, a younger and an older one, come through the rifts and warn about certain actions affect certain things, including the awakening of dangerous Pokemon, later revealed to be a new one called Oroboda, which is that, the weird Necrozma Zygarde mix thing. Which again, this could be the reason to go in the future and past, who knows. The rifts cause mega evolution spikes, setting up the 5 boss battles. And this guy says, I know they're Go-Go, I can't even say it, Floor Guys, sorry, that's my bad. It's just stuttering over here. Aegislash, Heliolisk, and Noivern. Trailer only shows Go-Go. Again, whenever I see someone say, I know, that really hits, it hits negative for me when it comes to their credibility, because what if they're not right? And this goes into the whole Riddler coup thing. God love, Riddler coup. He's been right before on many things, but he's kind of lost his reputation on some of the things he's talked about because he's been wrong. If you just say, I know, well, how am I supposed to trust that? If you just say, it was shown, possibly, Go-Goat, Floor Guys and stuff. Oh, no, I went that way. That was my bad. And Aegislash and so on, then, that's more like, okay, but for you to say, I know, it isn't like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, like, oh, this guy was there, he knows, but at the same time, if he's wrong, then, I'm always very cautious when they specifically say that they know, you know what I mean? But then he goes off to say, new additional megas that include the starters, Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, Oroboda, however you want to pronounce it, and the PLZA starters. So with that being said, that means the Kalos starters are not the actual starters. They're just there, which again, we kind of saw that. Within Legends Arceus, we got the Sinnoh starters as as well. That we can go and hunt for. But this is possible. But again, we've all kind of said that Yveltal, Xerneas, and Zygarde are going to get something special here. So we're just building off of that. Now, Oroboda is a counterpart to Zygarde, also Snake/Dragon with the ability to shapeshift and has cores of its own, rainbow/more angular. So I guess it's like more of like a rainbow angular. It's said to be the mother of Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde. Now that's a little bit interesting to me. Trailer ends with the release date being July 25th. The starters then run on screen: Piplup, Snivy, and Scorbunny. If it's Snivy, I'm going Snivy, but I wouldn't be against this, up against those 3 starters, Piplup, Snivy, Scorbunny. I think it'd be kind of cool. But July 25th just seems so early to me. I mean, it's completely possible. I mean, it really is. But it just, they like to release these games a little bit closer to Christmas time so they can get their Christmas deals on, get some of their pre-orders on. I'm banking, more so towards August, which I know, July 25th, that's like, a week away from, August. But, like, mid to late August. Now, again, I could be completely wrong. It does come out on July 25th. We won't know until next week, which, again, Pokemon Day is next week, which I'm excited for. But let me know what you think. Because, as always, take these rumors with a grain of salt. I want to believe all this, because, I mean, there's some stuff in here that was already, predicted and done. But, I was hearing that the whole the Oroboda was like a Necrozma deal, because I'm like look at it, like it looks similar to Necrozma, but it doesn't mean that it has to be. I think it's just because it's just like the black and like the whole mirror type deal that Necrozma has going on, and that's whatever. But now we're going to go on to just Card is just saying day 22. This is most likely fake, but I thought it was really cool. And wanted to do some 3D modeling, and I really just wanted to go over this 3D modeling. Jack and Dark, Power Construct. It's legit like 8 inches long, well, tall, I guess. So it's 13 pounds. This thing is 8 inches tall and 13.5 pounds. Okay, that's heavy for a little thing, I guess. Which again, this is a really nice 3D model, but I just want to show it more of its light here. If this is correct, then this is going to be really cool. And I wonder if they're going to have it like combined with Yveltal and Xerneas. Who knows? But I'm hoping this is real, just because I kind of like the gimmick that can go with it. But if not, it is what it is with all of these rumors. You gotta take it with a grain of salt. Light took over with some new rumors that surfaced within the final announcement for Pokemon Day, and it's more so about Black, Truth Black and Ideals White. Again, those names just don't go off the tongue, but again, we will read it together. So it goes over saying it will be the final announcement in the Pokemon Presents Direct, foreshadowed by Zekrom and Reshiram plush behind the Sunkazu Ishihara as he announces, again, presenting all the Pokemon from Gen 1 to 5 are being obtainable, alongside with the original forms and the evolutions from future generations. Pokemon from Pokemon Sleep will be transferable over and will be able to appear in Dream Balls with their hidden abilities. Trading/battling within Scarlet and Violet is planned, but won't be available on release. Routes from Black and White 2 are available to explore in the post-game as well. Additional episodes will be sold as DLC. The 2 currently planned are Episode Gray, where you must stop Neo Team Plasma and the Shadow Triad that's actually kind of a cool name, Shadow Triad. That's kind of cool. From capturing Kyurem, and Episode Pink, which focuses on new lore for Enamorus. Which, I was never a big fan of Enamorus. I just felt that its design looked rushed, in my opinion. I mean, I like what it's based off of, but it just seemed a little bit rushed to me. It says each DLC adds around 200 Pokemon to the game, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's a lot of Pokemon, and I'm quite glad that they would do that if it is true. Trailer ends with the camera pan over the giant chasm before the terrace symbol briefly flashes before the screen fades to black. I again take this with a grain of salt. My only issue is, Truth Black, Ideals White. They're not going to name something like that. I don't foresee it. I mean, I do think that they would do something with Black and White, but I don't think they're going to make it like that blunt. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. And I like the whole idea with Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon being transferred over. Episode Gray and Episode Pink, that would be cool. But again, I don't know. We won't know until we have it officially, dated and given to us via an official announcement. That's why I'm not going to be like speculating like, well, this is possible, because you really can't say all of that at once because we don't know yet. It's not been announced. Is it highly possible? Sure. I don't think the names are possible. They just seem out of the orthodox for Pokemon. But Episode Gray seems believable. Shadow Triad seems very believable. Neo Team Plasma seems, very very believable. And I really do hope that they have a remaster of Pokemon Black and White. I personally think, and this is my theory, is that if they do make a third Pokemon Black and White game, I think it's just going to be called Pokemon Gray. And I don't know if it's going to be a Legends game or if it's going to be just its own baseline game. But Pokemon Gray, I think, would be a great way to introduce it, because we still don't know what the original dragon looked like. I mean, Zekrom, Kyurem, and Reshiram used to be all one dragon before they split into three. I think Pokemon Gray may be the way to do that. So I personally think it'd be something along the line of Pokemon Gray, and you have to get all three legendaries, which again, that could make the game rather long, which is good. The longer the game, more content, etc. But let me know what you think about this. I think it'd be really cool. I have my doubts on some of the stuff, but I do know, at least in deep down in my own heart, that they will eventually come across Black and White and do something with it. Either it be a remake, a remaster, or whatever. We know that they're going to do something with Black and White. We just don't know what. And I believe it's just going to be a continuation like they did with Pokemon Z, but with Legends ZA. And maybe Pokemon Legends, maybe the new Pokemon line. I highly doubt it, but I think it may coincide with other games. Kind of like how Legends Arceus and, Shining Pearl, Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, did, having those two coincide. So let me know what you think below. I personally think this is possible. Again, not the name, but there's a lot of stuff in there that I think is possible. Now, last thing I wanted to go over was just some concerns that I have, that I shared with Game Rant. Now, Game Rant, I mean, they're pretty alright. They're more so on their own opinions and everything, but they make their opinions rather constructive. There's some stuff I don't fully agree on when it comes to what they necessarily want within Legends ZA, but there's some stuff that I do agree with. The first one being repetitive main quest requirements. Again, with that being said, when playing Legends ZA, it was fun, but it was easy to break it down. The goals were extremely clear. It was almost like a chore within Legends ZA to do some of the tasks. I mean, for example, you had to catch every single, as all the other games, is catch every single current Pokemon within the Dex for that region, to get a shiny charm and to unlock other Pokemon. That is exhausting. Now, I'm all about filling out your decks. Fill out your decks, kids. But the issue with the main quest requirements being repetitive is their pros are easy content breakdown and clear approachable goals, but to me that is a con. I mean, because I want it to be easy in some aspects, for example, when you start off the game, your objective should be easy, Go find the professor, go catch your first Pokemon out in the wild, or at least battle a Pokemon out in the wild, and get to know your surroundings. I want there to be a little bit more of a challenge to go out and adventure, a little bit more of a challenge, because even though I love all the Pokemon games that we've had with the Switch, there are some that have been easy. The easiest one being Pokemon Go, Eevee, and Pikachu. very easy games. Don't know why they're so easy, but they are. But again, let's move on to subscription lock content. I agree and disagree with this. So I disagree for the fact that they've locked a lot of Pokemon behind these DLCs, and for good reason, because the whole point of buying the DLCs is to get unlocked to them. But some people don't have that kind of money, and I'm very proud and fortunate of where I come from. I'm very grateful. That's why I'm always saying, don't be hateful towards others, don't bully others just because they don't have something that you do. I come from a very fortunate and well-off family, but I try spreading my wealth. I donate to charities. And speaking of that, let me know in the comments, do you want me to start streaming more? Because I'm not really officially started streaming, but I can definitely stream, and I'd definitely love to start to stream and raise some donations, and I would definitely love to start donating. My family just donates, just at our own will, but I would love, to start donating, because I've been really big on that, especially with me going in within medical school. Giving back to others is my biggest thing. So when you have, back on the Pokemon side of things, when you have subscription lock things, it's kind of hard sometimes, because if that person doesn't have the money to get it, then they're going to be behind, and it's going to suck. I mean, it really is. So what I think is that they should keep the DLCs. Don't make it repetitive. Make just one DLC and it unlocks everything. Like the whole 2 DLC BS has to stop. Just make one DLC, make it like $30, and it has everything you need. Basically having both the DLCs within Scarlet and Violet. Instead of it being 2, instead of it being 2, you get 1 and it unlocks it all. But when the DLC releases, make the entire Pokédex available. But make it like a mystery Pokédex to where they cannot unlock which region or whatever it's from until they buy the DLC, but they still have access to those Pokemon. Just so those people still get to experience those Pokemon. Maybe they get to experience them through random raid events, stuff like that. At least try to include the people that don't have the money for it, Try, lifeless open world experience. I do want more personality with it being open world. Don't get me wrong. Scarlet and Violet was great. I like how the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will follow you and are interested in you. But when they're not interested, they just kind of roam around like mindless NPCs. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I know they are NPCs. They're Pokemon within a game based off of AI they have to run with. But you can make it more interactive. I mean, look, for example, Pokemon Sword and Shield. The Pikachus and Eevees, when you walked up to them, they actually made their actual voice lines that they had within the actual show. I think it would be really smart to have that, again, because not only are you going to go ahead and add personality, you're going to add voices to it. And with that, I think voice lines need to be added to the game, finally. I mean, we've had too many times where they would have been perfect. And really, whenever you have these legendaries, like, again, Roaring Thunder and all these other Paradox Pokemon, it's exhausting to go and see that these legendaries are just standing there, or floating there. Just, like, there's no entrance, they're just there. I would like it to where you go into the area and they like swoop down from the sky, or they jump up from a cliff, or they phase through the ground up to you like Giratina does. Something like that. Add some personality to it, you know what I mean? Unworthy rivals. Oh my god, this has been the biggest issue Pokemon has had since the Switch, is that your rivals just don't do anything for you. They're not that strong, and yeah, sure, some of us are older and we just whoop them. We just go right through them, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, I remember when I played, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Love that game. But, I never lost to my rival, but there were some times where he gave me trouble. Just because the game actively tried to counter you, by actually picking the type that you chose is weak against. Now, your rival chooses the type that your type's strong against. So if you chose, for example, the Score Bunny line, You know, obviously, Hep or whatever, he's going to choose the grass type monkey, and that you're obviously going to be strong against it. And when you have, with the Scarlet and Violet, they always choose the weaker Pokemon, and I just don't get it. I want a challenge, because it allows me to make it feel like it was worth me training my Pokemon, because I always over level my Pokemon by like a couple levels just to be able to withstand hits. And whenever I do that and I just wipe through these trainers and even Elite Four and other gym leaders, like when I just wipe through them like that, I don't feel accomplished. Like I over leveled my Pokemon for nothing. I mean, I did it for legitimately nothing, and I don't want that. Careful with Megas, please. So, Megas are great, but they have to be smart where they place the Megas. I'm going to go on my own tangent here, more so than theirs. I want them to bring Megas, but I don't want them to just throw Megas everywhere. I don't want every Pokemon getting a Mega. I do want the Kalos starters getting a Mega, and I personally believe that every single starter deserves a Mega of some sort. I think it would be cool. But I don't want to be seeing Pokemon like Sudowoodo getting a Mega. Like, no. Give these Megas to Pokemon that deserve them, or at least need them, just to get some more notoriety. Launching the game as a buggy mess, yes. I love Scarlet and Violet, and for me, Scarlet and Violet is an 8 out of 10, and the reason why is because its story and its DLC saved it, and its shiny hunt mechanic. So the shiny hunting, the DLC, and then the story of it all saved it. Its story from start to the finish within the DLCs is immaculate. The story, just like the meaning of the story is immaculate. Just what it goes through is nice. The shiny hunting is fun and awesome, and its DLCs were great. But we know for a fact they launched Scarlet and Violet a little bit ahead of schedule, and we even saw this as it was supposed to have more trees and stuff, as we saw with the screenshots. But I want them to release Legends ZA, pretty well rounded. And for the most part, Legends Arceus was released pretty well. Like, Legends Arceus was nice. Sure, there were some parts of Legends Arceus that felt damp and gray, but that's bound to happen when you have an open world like that. There's just going to have some of those areas. But I don't really blame them for that. But Legends Arceus was amazing, and I really want them to bring that same feeling again. And I think they will. I really do have faith. And then, so the whole entire visual detail that distracts from shiny hunting. Yes, because it's been hard sometimes to find certain shinies. So I do want to do a Slowpoke shiny hunt again with you guys. I've already caught one, but it's so hard to find it because you don't get any like sparkles when it appears like in Legends Arceus. Or when you enter the battle, you get the stars. You just have to pray to God you're going right into the right Slowpoke. And that happens with a lot of, shiny Pokemon that are, like, really, really small. So, with that being said, it can be hard. And even with the Lechonk line, which we have here, easy shiny to see, but I've noticed a couple times I've almost missed them because they go into the very tall grass, and they get blended away by the tall grass. And you don't want to lose a shiny. I've not lost very many shinies in my lifetime, but there's been a couple that I have, and it's the worst pain ever. So I think they should keep the same amount of availability with shinies as they have in Scarlet and Violet. Keep that rapid availability. Sure, some people say it takes away from the value, but the value is it being on your team, and people should have full access to them. I mean, really. Yeah, that's my opinion. But make it to where when they appear, you can at least hear it, and you can at least know a general area where they're at. Yeah, especially for the hard seeing shinies, considering because Nintendo doesn't want to fix some of these shinies. More so looking at Garchomp and Slowpoke. Fix their shinies, please, if you can. Combuskin got it. Why can't you do them? But anyways, besides my little rant there. Let me know what you guys thought with this entire video. Again, thank you guys for getting me to almost 100 subscribers. We're at 67 subscribers, so let's keep it up. I appreciate you guys so much for everything that you've done. Thank you for the views. I mean, the views have been amazing. And I know, and again, I know 100 doesn't sound big to some of you, but for me it is, considering I just started this channel like a month ago, and the fact that I'm reaching to these certain milestones is awesome to me. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the video. What do you look forward to on Pokemon Day? What do you think is going to happen, especially with the stuff that we went over? What are your concerns with Pokemon Legends ZA? Like, what do you not want to see happen to it? Or do you agree with some of the stuff that I've said about it, or do you not agree? I'm always open to hearing your guys' criticism and your guys' thoughts on this kind of stuff. So, as always, be a chump above the rest. Thank you for watching. Sorry, and don't forget to subscribe and like and favorite. Until then, see ya.